Left of the box. Should Justin Trudeau step down as leader of the federal Liberal Party? Yeah, he should. That's according to me. But maybe according to some of the people within his own party now. From CTV News, Prime Minister faces mounting pressure to step aside from inside caucus. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will face mounting pressure from his caucus this week to step down from leadership of the Liberal Party. A group of backbench MPs, primarily from Atlantic Canada and southwestern Ontario, are in discussion to formally release and ask for the Prime Minister to consider the future of the Liberal Party in making a decision about whether to stay at the helm of it. Though MPs for months have lamented behind closed doors, and yes, even to reporters, that they were resigned in their belief Prime Minister was staying on, things changed this week during Caucus Wednesday. Both the Prime Minister and his top staffers were absent from the regular weekly meetings, a rare occurrence, and as discussion turned to challenges the party faces vis-a-vis the most recent by-election results in Montreal and Toronto, sustained public opinion polling, things became, as one MP recounted to CTV News, fraught. A secret caucus. That sounds so dirty. Are you part of the secret caucus? After asking staff from Prime Minister's office to leave, a group of those MPs broke off after caucus in what three of them told CTV News was like a secret caucus. It was during this meeting talk of something more formal developed, though other MPs in the group insisted they wanted to tell the Prime Minister directly. That has not happened. CTV News spoke to 24 Liberal MPs Friday, about half of whom they said they were aware of the so-called letter circulating, but had not put their names to it. Half a dozen of the MPs said they had heard about 30 people are signing it, but has not seen the signatures themselves, so on and so forth. It wouldn't surprise me that there's stuff going on behind the scenes, that some of them are not happy with the polling, with the way that the election results are. But they are too chicken shit to put their names to it. None of them are coming out publicly. None of them are applying that public pressure right now. This is just all behind the scenes, high school gossip bullshit happening. We need politicians that actually have the backbone to stand up for the people that they're representing. If they feel Justin Trudeau is now a detriment to their party, that he won't help them in the next election, then they should be public about it. But they're so afraid of losing their privileges of being an MP in the Liberal Party that they'll keep their mouths shut, even though they know there's a very good chance if Justin Trudeau remains leader of the Liberal Party, Pierre Poilievre will win. The Conservatives will win, which is not a good outcome. I would love to say that the NDP would win. Not likely either. Have the backbone. Have the backbone. And the thing is that, Justin Trudeau is just another milquetoast liberal. Like, I don't know who would be a better liberal for the party. Anyone that I would think is a good party, like, politician to step up for the Liberal Party would probably be an NDPer. There's nobody who I think would make a good Liberal Party leader, but what they do need is somebody that can at least make people believe it's going to be a different party, that there's going to be change, that they can keep the Liberal Party while still having change, because as is the habit with elections here in Canada, is people just get sick of it. They get sick of one side or the other, or they see their lives aren't improving and they blame the party that's in power at the time. Like, why is it that a lot of people are sick of Justin Trudeau, sick of who he is? Well, maybe it could be because of something like this. Income inequality in Canada to the highest level ever recorded, Statistics Canada. Widening income gap driven by investment returns for top 20% of Canadian earners. It's things like this that make people sick of him. Because Justin Trudeau will go up on stage and say things like, Canada's economy is improving. We have the best economy in the world. So great to be Canadian. Incomes are up and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. Some incomes are up. Some people are benefiting from a change in an economy. When the economy improves, it doesn't mean it's improving the lives of all the people in that economy. It just means the economy as an abstract is improving. It's not a one-to-one relation to the people of the country. So when you hear Justin Trudeau constantly gloating about how great the economy is here in Canada, while totally ignoring the real live suffering of so many people in this country, the dismissal of what we're going through, that's what we're fucking fed up with. Just this absolute overlooking, not acknowledging what the average Canadian is going through. The gap in the shared disposable income between the richest 2/5 of Canadians and the bottom 2/5 grew to 47% points in the second quarter of 2024, Statistics Canada reported Thursday. That's the widest gap recorded since 1999, when Statistics Canada first started collecting such data. The gap was driven by the top 20% of income earners who saw the largest increase in their shared disposable income, the report said. That increase was driven largely by investment gains, which the statistics agency attributed to higher interest rates. While higher interest rates can lead to increased borrowing costs for households, they can also lead to higher yields on savings and investments accounts, the report said. Lower income households are more likely to have limited capacity to take advantage of these higher returns, as on average they have fewer resources available for saving and investment. While those in the lowest 20% saw a slight rise in their share of disposable income due to wage increases, the middle 60% of Canadians saw a decrease in their share. 60% saw a decrease. This is why people hate Justin Trudeau. This is why they want him out. Because when he keeps on bragging about that economy, he is ignoring that 60% of Canadians. The Statistics Canada report said that in the second quarter, the top 20% of Canadians held more than 2/3 of the country's wealth, averaging $3.4 million per household. By comparison, the bottom 40% of Canadians accounted for only 2.8% of Canada's wealth. Okay. So the top 20% of Canadians held more than 2/3 of the country's wealth. Meanwhile, the bottom 40%, 2.8%. And this is why, people are mad. The economy is improving, but not for everyone. Asked about the rising income inequality in Canada, Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland said the Liberal government has been focused on bringing forward policies such as childcare and dental care programs to help middle-class and lower-income Canadians. This was only pushed through because of the NDP. I think the childcare was something that the Liberals were originally trying to push for, but the dental care was only pushed through because of the NDP. And even the childcare and the dental care programs, they're means tested. They're not necessarily accessible depending on, the province's willingness to actually push it through. We are working very, very hard to lean against this tendency in the global economy towards more inequality, she told reporters at a press conference on Thursday. We are leaning against it with very specific policies designed to support middle-class Canadians and people working hard to join the middle class. But Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre blamed Liberal policies for widening wealth. I'm not even going to bother reading what he says in here because it's complete bullshit. Anything he says is bullshit. And I despise Justin Trudeau, lesser evil. So I would definitely like to see a different person in charge of the Liberal Party, but ideally I want to see the NDP pick up gains. I want to see the NDP be where they should be, because if they were properly promoting themselves and promoting their policies and getting their word out there, they'd be at the top. But they do such a bad job of getting their word out there, promoting themselves, speaking to the people, that they just get lost in the noise. Grand Theft Autobot, we definitely have a Trudeau is Canada's Biden situation here. Yeah, Trudeau is just sticking on for ego more than anything else. He wants to be like the longest running prime minister or something of that sort. But the thing is in Canada, you don't, okay, the country's sick of you, step aside, let somebody else do it. You can always run again. There's been a few prime ministers that have gaps in between the time that they were prime ministers. Like there's no limitation as to how many times somebody can become a prime minister. Don't tell the United States that's possible in a parliamentary system, because then Donald Trump might actually be tempted to be like, well then, because there's no term limits for a prime minister here. So he could absolutely step back, let people take a breath, and if his ego then drives him to, he can try again and see where people are at. But to sink his party, and he will, if he remains as, liberal leader for ego, is just disgusting. It's disgusting. And I always have to put this caveat in because people always whine and bitch when I say it, but I don't like the liberals. They're just better than the conservatives. And historically speaking, it's either the conservatives or the liberals who get into power with our first past the post system. Plain and simple as that. I would prefer a new party that is actually progressively based, like a socialist party, to actually get into power. That's what I would ideally want. If I could just snap my fingers, make a new party, a socialist-based party. Bad lefty, silly connects, doing communism wrong. Yeah, the United States loves to accuse us of doing communism, but... I have a number of centrist friends straight up told me they are voting conservative because they are bored of JT. Yeah. We suffer from apathy and boredom in this country when it comes to politics. People don't vote because of apathy, and then when they do, it's out of boredom. And it's just, it's so frustrating because lives will be lost under conservative governments. Lives have already been lost under conservative governments in their underfunding and their cutting of programs, in, creating these housing crises, because far more the conservatives' fault than the liberals on that one. All of this has cost lives, and everything that they want to do will cost more lives. So yeah, we're all sick of Justin Trudeau. Get somebody else then in front of the liberals, because the idea that, oh, well, I'm sick of seeing his face all the time. And the consequences of what will happen with Pierre Poilievre as prime minister. I'm already getting anxiety over it.